Good morning. I'm Jim Csek with KelownaNow. I have with me Ian Burns, our managing editor, and we're going to go through the stories you need to know this morning to get your week started off. First one, Pierre Poilievre calls on provinces to cut the sales tax on homes. Not only he says he'll promise to cut it if he forms government, he cuts it on the GST. He's also asking the provinces to cut it as well. So on an $800,000 home, the GST alone is $40,000. Canadian oil producers are being forced by feds to cut emissions, and that's by the current government. So that would actually probably increase the price of fuel, wouldn't you say, Ian?
Yeah, well, I mean, the federal government wouldn't say that. They seem to think that it's very doable with current technology, but it tends to be the case, doesn't it, that we end up paying for it at the pump.
Well, yeah, the carbon tax, and then cutting that and cutting this, and yeah. So I mean, that's if they hang on to government, I guess, right? So the BC port lockout to begin, no deal reached. So that again is going to put some inflationary pressures on and likely some stresses on the supply chain.
Just in time for Christmas.
Just in time for Christmas, yeah. All that stuff you're getting from overseas. Well, maybe you can make something at home instead of buying the cheap stuff. There's a lot of stories out here before Danielle Smith faced her leadership review and saying that she wasn't going to make it through. She got 91% support, though, in a UCP leadership review. Far higher than Jason Kenney got at 54%.
She's very popular, isn't she?
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of stories out prior to this review saying that Danielle Smith maybe have lost all faith. Her party may have lost all faith in her. It doesn't seem to be the case at all.
Not at all.
And then on Friday, I sat down with Mario Canseco and Renee Merrifield because the big day is tomorrow. The U.S. election takes place south of the border. And then you can go ahead and KelownaNow and you can watch that video, what to look out for. According to Mario, very, very tight. I mean, all the polls you see online, everything, it looks really, really tight. What are you seeing out there?
I just think I can't remember an election this tight. I really can't. I mean, I know the 2000 Bush Gore, that was very, very close.
That was the hanging Chad, the hanging Chad's election.
Well, that one wasn't even solved, was it? For like a couple of weeks, it had to be in the courts.
Yeah, so
but
that
this
one,
I mean, I feel like there was always a favourite, wasn't there? Even the last one, Biden was a very heavy favourite, very strong favourite, wasn't he? And I know obviously the Hillary Trump one was the great kind of the baffling one, wasn't it? But still, there was a favourite. People thought they knew who would win, but I feel like now there's just no idea.
The betting markets have flipped too. Like they had a huge lead for Donald Trump, and now they're kind of like even again. So, but there's a bunch of reasons being put out there for why that's flipped. But and then I guess some people are saying though, if it's even, it likely favors Trump because a lot of people are scared to say they're voting for Trump.
Yeah, and also there's the theory that he reaches people that pollsters just can't reach. They can't factor them into their models. Yeah. But then there's also other people, I don't know if Mario said this, but there are people that think that as a consequence of the failure of 2016 to predict that Trump would win, that they've kind of overcompensated for the Trump supporters. But who knows? It's a real mystery.
It's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out because the star power has been brought out by the Kamala Harris team, and then. Yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff going on for sure in this election. It's worthwhile to watch though. Mario Canseco, he's been doing some polling and he thinks it's pretty much a toss-up. The auction is running on KelownaNow. So if you're looking to support local and you're looking for gifts for Christmas, this is a great one for you to kind of get out there and bid on some local products. And this auction will run for the month of November. And then in our AI one. I've been using it this weekend. Some people are saying that's the end of Google. I don't know. I think that they might be calling that death a little early. But ChatGPT search is actually pretty good. I've been using it quite a bit, and just to see how it compares to Google search. Have you given it a try?
I actually haven't tried it yet, but I have noticed that they've had another go at AI. When I was just searching for random things, they have like an AI answer at the top now.
Their last
they
try at it was,
but then abandoned it.
well, it was pretty bad when they first launched Gemini. It was pretty, what you would say, it was trying to rewrite history in some ways, right?
It was a bit of an embarrassment, wasn't it?
I would say so. I did somebody else's version of history. I was in Calgary this weekend. Had to drive there and back. While I was there, you can play that video there. This is in Toronto. If you can play that video. I was in Calgary, and I saw the same thing at the Tesla dealership. Not quite to this extent, but probably like 2 rows I saw in Calgary. So Cybertrucks are ready to roll out here in Canada. So you're going to start seeing them on the road here in numbers, because they were going to start doing deliveries this week in Calgary, and I imagine they're going to do the same thing in Toronto. But that's a lot of Cybertrucks sitting there. While I was there, though, I did test drive a Model 3 Performance, and it literally made both me and my daughter sick. Like G-Force is sick, like a ride, like an amusement ride. When you go on a roller coaster and your stomach drops out, that's how fast that thing is. And then she asked me to do it one more time, like, step on it. And I was just like, I couldn't do it a third time. I was just like, I can't. I'm going to actually literally throw up. So there's that much G-force in there. So it's crazy. So anyway, get used to seeing these vehicles are going to be on a road near you right away. Big Cybertrucks. Anything else going on out there, Ian, that we need to know?
Nothing that I can think of. Justin Trudeau's, I think he's meeting with Zelensky today of Ukraine, and he's going to get his flu shot for us all to see. But other than that, fairly quiet, I think.
There you go. So if Donald Trump wins tonight, supposedly that war's over. We shall see,
yeah,
right?
Well, he said, didn't he? 24 hours, is that what he said?
Something like that, yeah. So very quickly, anyway. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I did watch an interview with CBC Rosemary Barton and I can't remember her name now, but trade minister, and they're playing it very political, which was the smart thing to do. They said they'll work with either party, because it was Donald Trump's government that signed the USMC, right? USMCA.
Yep.
They're the ones that negotiated it. So, and it is up for review. It's not like he would, take it and tear it up, but it is up for review. So, well, I mean, they said they would work with either party, which is a lot different than what I've heard from Justin Trudeau in the past. So,
yeah. Well, it was considered to be quite a shambles, wasn't it, for Canada when Trump introduced that? Because they threatened to just go ahead with Mexico, didn't they, and just forget Canada altogether. So it was kind of
yeah, I mean,
I think, for Canada.
We've lost our status as the United States' biggest trading partner. We're still, I mean, they're still our biggest trading partner, but Mexico is now their biggest trading partner.
Yeah, they have much healthier demographics, don't they, in Mexico? They got a lot more young people than we do, and I think the Americans look to that as labor, don't they? It's where they can build stuff.
Yeah, and I think just access to, like, some of the roads through there on the southern part of it, they don't deal with as much, like we don't have, like we even think of our Trans-Canada. I went to Calgary. Still, we have a Trans-Canada highway across Canada that is not 2-lane all the way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, for a large country like Canada, not to have a 4-lane highway all the way across Canada seems odd.
Yeah. No, that is an odd one. Maybe it made sense when the country had half the population, but Canada's starting to become a bigger country now, isn't it? I think it really needs that infrastructure.
There you go. So a light one this morning. So we're just getting our week off. So there you go. That's all we got for you this morning and your need to know. Thank you for watching Kelowna Now.
We don't just report the news. We live here too. We're your neighbors, bringing you stories that matter to all of us. No government funding, no outside influence. Kelowna Now, local, independent. News you can trust.